friends, welcome to this week's episode of Wishful Thinking. So I am currently pumped up full of caffeine, which I think is a great way to start our episode. I just got off a hangout with a friend, which was really fun. It was one of those friends or one of those type of hangouts where it's like that friend that you go to brunch with like once or twice a year. And so we did our like yearly catch up. And I honestly really value our friendship. It's so good to just like have that like grounding person that you meet with like every year to just like check in what's been going on in your life and like update each other. I don't know, help process through the passage of time almost. It's just whenever I have these hangouts with her, it feels like no time has passed, but at the same time, there's so much to talk about and reflect on in how long it's been since we last seen each other and the amount of change that's gone on in our lives. I think the last time I hung out or talked with her, it was before I went to Davis. And so it's been like a whole year and I feel like a different person now. Like just so much has changed and it's really great to have a friend that you just like catch up with. You know, every friend is a friend for different things and I just love our friendship and our bond and that we like have those hangouts. Also, oh my gosh, I just noticed myself touching my hair so much. The first episode of the podcast, I was rewatching it and I touched my hair so much. So I'm gonna work on that because it was genuinely peeving me. Okay, don't go back and watch it to point out how many times I touched my hair. Okay, I get it because I was aware and it was bothering me. So, but speaking of hair, I am having a really freaking good hair day, and so I wanted to talk about the topic of hair for this week's episode, more specifically like the cultural significance of hair and also my personal hair journey. I feel like my hair is one of my most like defining characteristics, you know. Having bright purple hair and also having curly hair are both quite attention grabbing. And so I feel like I get so many compliments or comments about my hair, and it's honestly my favorite thing because like I would not be me without my hair. Like genuinely like this, like oh my god, I just like this is like my natural hair color. I've gotten told multiple times that like purple looks natural on me, and you guys do not understand how much of a fucking compliment that is. Genuinely, like I think people with colored hair who have like a favorite hair color will understand like that comment like hits the soul. But genuinely, like when I hear that, oh my fucking, I'm like ascending. I'm literally like ascending to heaven because I'm like, I'm going to heaven with my fucking purple hair, okay? Like, if my soul in the afterlife, wherever the fuck it is, if it doesn't have purple fucking curly hair attached to it, I don't want it. This is my final fucking form. I was thinking about this the other day. I have no idea why, but I was like, I was thinking about getting married. Not getting married anytime soon, by the way, okay? I know I've been together with my boyfriend for a while, but like like I just started my 20s. Like let's calm the fuck down. No one's asking me to get married. But I was thinking about weddings and I was like I honestly think I'm genuinely going to like have purple hair at my wedding cuz it's honestly been a year now of me having like my purple hair continuously. I've had, well, we'll get into it, but I've had purple hair at other points in my life and I've always just wanted to go back to purple hair, and this has like been the first time where I've really just like committed to keeping my hair purple because I've tried other things. I know what I like. I know what feels right to me and my soul. And so like this is just me forever. Anyways, I also wanted to say post hangout with a friend. We got matchas after we had our little lunch. We went to a cute little Thai brunch spot, which was really fun. But now I am pumped up full of caffeine. And I don't know about anyone else, but caffeine actually makes me really anxious. More specifically, matcha. Matcha makes me so fucking anxious. I don't know what it is. It's not coffee. Coffee doesn't, I don't know. I prefer drinking matcha, but coffee doesn't make me anxious like matcha does. Does anyone else experience this? Because I love matcha and I haven't stopped drinking it. But every time I drink matcha, first of all, I love matcha, so I chug it. I chug it in like, I think we were at the little matcha spot after for like a good minute talking. So I don't think it was that long that I think I took a little bit, but still, like, I finished my fucking matcha and now I'm fucking anxious. I am looking around everywhere. I'm thinking someone's out to murder me. I don't know. Like, it just makes me anxious every single time. And I still get it all the time. It's like, it's genuinely an addiction. But unfortunately, out of like all of my current addictions, I don't think it's the one that it's not the most pressing matter that I'm not itching to correct this issue in my life at the moment. So, yeah, I actually, maybe this is TMI, but after our hangout, I drove to this random park that I'm at, and I went here because it has a bathroom. It's actually like right there. It's the glowing building in the background. I went to this public park bathroom because I fully could have just like went to the bathroom during our hangout, but it only like crossed my mind once I got to my car. And since it was after I started the car already, I was like, okay, I have to drive somewhere. But I'm kind of appreciative that I drove to a park because I might like go out and journal after this podcast, which could be fun. But yeah, I'm anxious. So, I'm full of energy, but also full of nerves and anxiety. So that's just the mood for the podcast. So let's talk about my hair. Okay, this is going to be one of the most narcissistic episodes of this podcast. I don't know, I'm saying that on the second one, but like it might be because I'm just talking about myself, to be honest. But I feel like people care about my hair, okay? Like I always just get comments and compliments and questions and stuff about my hair. So this is my hair episode, okay? For anyone who fucking cares. I don't know if anyone cares, but if anyone fucking cares, this is the episode about my hair. Because I'm having a really good hair day and I need to talk about it. I also think that like anyone who has gone through either being a curly girl or an at-home hair dye phase can probably relate to a lot of the sentiment that I will explore in this episode and experiences. So buckle up because this is a ride. So starting off, my earliest memories with hair, I would say like being present in my mind, being a conscious human being would be around like kindergarten, first grade. At those ages, it would be my Lola that did my hair, which is my mom's mom. She would do my hair and then she would always do like these cutie little ponytails and other like, or like pigtails, whatever. She would do these cutie little hairstyles with me. I actually have a really fucking weird memory of this, I don't know what they're called actually, but like the elementary people who are, they're not your teachers, but they're like out during recess, like the recess hall monitors, I guess. I have this memory of this dude at my elementary school, and he was kind of weird. Like I'm sure he was being friendly, and I didn't really think it was weird at the time. Well, I thought it was kind of weird at the time, but he was this guy who anytime any girl had pigtails, he'd pretend you were like a motorcycle. He'd be like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah." It's quite strange, and I hated when it happened to me. But that's completely unrelated. So, boom. My Lola used to do my hair, and then I don't know what happened, but second grade, I specifically remember that or maybe it was third grade. Second or third grade. Oh my goodness. The farther that time slips away from me, the more I forget things, which is so sad. But second or third grade, I'm sticking with second, I started doing my own hair, okay? And I don't know why. Like, either my Lola got tired of doing my hair or I wanted to do it myself because I was like a stubborn fucking kid. I don't know. But I started doing my own hair for school. And it was genuinely the most frustrating experience ever because, okay, I think I knew I had curly hair when I was younger because there's literally pictures of me as a baby with like a fucking afro and it's the cutest thing ever. But I don't know. No one knew how to do my hair curly. Like we would just dry brush it and it would just be like a frizzy mess. And so that's literally how I styled my hair in second grade. I would brush my hair. I would be so fucking frustrated. Sometimes I'd like smack my head with a hairbrush. And I'd just like put a headband on because I had a fucking headband collection in second grade, which was honestly adorable. Like I had a headband collection. I just have brush out my frizzy ass hair. I'd slick it back with a headband, and that was like my hairstyle. In memory, I associate every grade of school, specifically elementary, with a specific hairstyle that I would do for myself. And in second grade, it was those frizzy headband hairstyles, like just hair down frizzy. And then I low-key, this is honestly a very vulnerable confession to make. If you were in any of my classes in elementary school, I sincerely apologize, but I was a lice kid. I think I had lice like 2 or 3 times. And you might be able to tell because of the fact how many fucking times I touch my hair. Okay, I touched my hair so many times in the last podcast episode. I touch my hair all the fucking time. It's a problem. But yeah, I was low-key a lice kid. I gave my family lice like 2 or 3 times. It was atrocious. I fucking hate mayonnaise. I fucking hate mayonnaise now. And I think it's because of that experience. So yeah, I was a lice kid. Now, every single time that there was a lice announcement in the classroom, it wasn't always me. I remember there was a handful of times that I was like, do I have lice and I don't know about it? But no, it wasn't always me, but sometimes it was me. And yeah, I had a lice problem as a kid. And so my parents got mad at me and they were like, you can't wear your hair down all the time. So I remember, what grade was it? I don't remember like all of my hairstyles. I'd have to look back at like my elementary like yearbook pictures every year. But I remember like in 5th grade, I tried out a new hairstyle, which would be doing one singular side braid because I wanted to be Katniss Everdeen. I wanted to be Katniss fucking Everdeen. I had just seen all 3 of the Hunger Game movies at the time, and I was fucking obsessed. I was like, I'm the fucking next Mockingjay. Let me put the side braid in, and that was my hairstyle every fucking day of school. That was my for every day of 5th grade. I had a fuck ass side braid. I mean, I think it was cute at the time. I'm not gonna lie. Fun fact, there was this other girl in my class who also did a side braid, but she did the other side. And so I thought that was funny. I thought she was kind of cool, but kind of intimidating. She was like a new kid at our school. Like, I think her first year was 5th grade at our well, so like first and last year was at our 5th grade. And yeah, I low-key was like I was in secret competition with her in my mind because I'm like, you're the other side braid girl. And hers was low-key like better than mine. I don't know if it was her hair was longer than mine, so like I just thought her hair was better than mine. I don't know. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure she also did the braid because of Hunger Games, because she was, I hate to say like a book nerd, but she read books. And I'm not gonna lie, as a kid, I didn't really read a lot. I didn't read the Hunger Games books. I only watched the movies. And to this day, I haven't read the Hunger Games books. I need to. I actually really, really want to read like all of the books in the series and the new book before the movie comes out. So I don't know when the movie comes out, so we need to like get on this, I'm not gonna lie. But I just have so many books that I like want to read, and I have no motivation to read, unfortunately. So we need to conquer this. But like once I get back into reading, like I don't know if anyone has had a reading phase. Once you get back into reading, like you really like reading. So I just need to like push myself to get into it again. Yeah, so put down the phone, open a book. Let's get on that vibe. 2026, let's have a reading log. Let's start book clubs. Let's read, guys. Okay, so yeah, that is like my elementary school hair experience. Middle school is when this starts getting a little bit more interesting for me. That was around the time that I started learning how to straighten my own hair, which I was honestly quite responsible with. My mom always taught me to use heat protectant on my hair when using a flat iron, which was a good skill to instill in me. And yeah, that was around the time where I started straightening my hair, but it was like the bad hair straightening, like the back of my head is none of my business type thing. Like it took me a while to like learn how to properly straighten my hair, but that is when I learned how to use heat tools. And honestly, I think for like half of middle school, I basically just like straightened my hair all the time, or I would have it like kind of wavy, like the way your hair gets a couple days after straightening your hair. But yeah, I just became a straight hair girl all the fucking time until I want to say like halfway through my 7th grade. Halfway through 7th grade, I discovered this girl on YouTube. I don't know her name, so I'm sorry. I would love to give her a shout out. But it was like this Australian girl who did curly hair tutorials, like how to like style your hair, what products to use. And she is the one who inspired me to finally start wearing my hair curly. So 7th grade is when I wore my hair curly for the first time. I started wearing it regularly, and my curls were actually fine because like I said, I used heat protectant. I was very good about it, and my curls were so healthy, so tight. Honestly, like my curls just have not been as tight since I started like bleaching my hair, which makes sense. I had beautiful curls, and I remember specifically there was this one time in class that one of the guys was like, did you curl your hair this morning? Like I literally was like, yes, I used a tiny little curling iron and like curled every single one of these strands. Obviously I was being sarcastic, but I was like, no, I used water, like I have curly hair. Like I don't know, I remember there was like a good amount of people who were like kind of surprised that I had curly hair because I straightened it all the time, and everyone was like, But this was the journey of a girl coming to terms with her curly hair. I remember at the time I only used one hair product, which is Miss Jessie's curl cream. And I'm not gonna lie, I have honestly like recently come back to that curl cream, and I love it. Like, that's genuinely, like, it's so nostalgic. It's literally the first and only hair product that I used for like such a long time in my life. And like I've started like experimenting with other things like leave-in conditioner, mousse, gel, like other hair products, but that is my tried and true. Okay, if you guys take nothing away from this, that product, like, my holy grail. I also remember I wanted to use that product because there's a specific video of Zendaya like talking about using Miss Jessie's like multicultural curl, and I don't know. It just like I was like, okay, I want to be like Zendaya. Let me use her hair product. Let me use Zendaya's hair product. I mean, it's not hers, but like she said she uses it. So yeah, but I've gone back to Miss Jessie's multicultural curl. It's really good. My boyfriend also has like semi curly wavy hair. He likes that product too, so he's low key said he's gonna buy it too. I'm not gonna lie, like it works for a lot of people's hair, so I recommend trying it. It smells pretty good too, so putting you guys on. Anyways, we get to this phase of wearing curly hair, but I would also like, I would kind of alternate, basically like how I do now, wear my hair curly, straighten it, back and forth. But this is when I started wearing my hair curly, and I had just plain straight cut hair. Okay, I didn't have any layers. I didn't do any like curly cuts or whatever. Actually, we should get into the hair cutting, but yeah, I just had straight layers. And if you guys know anything about wearing curls with just like straight cut hair, it was a fucking triangle. Like, my hair would be a triangle. I don't know why your hair does this. Probably because like all of your hair is at the bottom and like there's not as much at the top, but it just makes a triangle. Like, I had triangle curly hair, and it was interesting. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like ideal to what I would want. But I had my triangle phase, and at this time, actually, for sorry, I'm like in a random park, so I'm like monitoring all the cars next to me. I try to park away from cars, but anyways, so yeah, at this time I was getting, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. So at this time I was getting my haircut. I was getting my haircuts where my mom would get her haircuts, which would be like at some Asian salon, nearby us. I live in a very like, I mean, I live in a very diverse area, but our specific like nearest by plaza was very like Asian dominated. Like it was just like an Asian grocery store, Asian bakery, Asian salon. Like, so I would go to this Asian hair salon with my mother, and I have this one very, very traumatizing experience that has been the last time that I've ever went to that salon. Um, and or last time I've ever been to like a professional salon of that kind. I don't know. We'll get into it. But I went to the salon and I just felt bullied. That's the only way to put it. I have been going to these places for years, and like honestly, I had not really had too much trouble like with them. I don't know. But there was this time I went. I don't remember the state of my hair when I went to get this haircut, but I just remember throughout the process, the lady who was doing my hair, genuinely no hate to her, but like I do think it's unfortunate that these type of environments don't know how to do all types of hair. And she was detangling my hair and telling me that it's so matted and knotty, and like, oh, you need to brush your hair more, like that type of messaging. And it was genuinely like so traumatizing to me. I think it was towards the end of middle school. No, when was this? I think it was in high school. I think it was like maybe like my freshman. Yes, it was my freshman year because I cut my hair kind of short then. So yeah, I got this haircut. I think it was about like this length but straight. And yeah, the lady was just being so freaking rude to me. It was insane. And after that experience, I think I like cried afterwards. Not because I didn't like my haircut, but just because like I was fucking bullied, okay? Like, I'm paying you to bully me? No, thank you. So yeah, I cried after I told my mom, like, I'm not gonna go back there again. Like, they don't know how to do my hair. And from that point on, I started learning how to cut my own hair. So yeah, the pandemic comes around, my hair is growing. I low-key like had a bob. I low-key had like a bob. Like, my hair when curly was like here. Like, it looked like this. Okay, it looked better than that, but like my hair was like a very short length towards the end of high school, high school, towards the end of freshman year. I mean, I let it grow out for the most part, but my hair grew so long throughout the pandemic. Another thing that I did for the first time in this period of time was lighten my hair. I didn't use bleach. I remember there was this thing going viral, or I remember I remember there was these posts that I was seeing on TikTok of people mixing baking soda and I don't remember what else. It was like a liquid. Was it baking soda and water? Baking soda and vinegar? No, 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 no. It was baking soda and hydrogen peroxide. Okay, I'm not telling anyone to do this because it's actually so bad for your hair. Like, genuinely just use bleach. But at the time, I didn't want to tell my parents because I don't really think they wanted me to do anything to my hair. So I, in secret, got a bunch of baking soda and hydrogen peroxide, mixed them together in my room, and just slapped that on my hair. And it made my hair like this light brown, which was honestly pretty good, but it dried the fuck out of my hair, okay? My curls were still honestly pretty good, so, because I remember people were saying, like, oh, this is like a non-damaging way to do it, to lighten your hair. And so I bleached my hair, basically, or I lightened it with, like, these non-conventional products, and it worked. It was like a cute light brown, so I guess try it if you really, really want to. But I remember there was this day at dinner where my parents were like, did you lighten your hair? Like, I can literally see, like, your roots growing out. Like, I could tell. And I was literally just like a fucking fat liar. I was like, no, what are you talking about? No. I did. I remember. Like, because it was growing out, you know? But yeah, I did that. And then I also, this was around the time when I learned how to do a curly cut. And by curly cut, I mean literally just putting all my hair in a ponytail and then cutting it and then boom, layers. And I'm not gonna lie, that's still the same way I cut my hair to this day. I just, and then sometimes I'll do like some face framing pieces manually by hand. But yeah, this is around the time when I finally learned how to like give myself layers at home in a non-choppy way, which I never tried doing my hair choppy. I would, if anything, I would just like, that's how I would cut my hair before, but then I learned how to add layers to my hair. And oh my goodness, I genuinely think that this period of time, that towards the end of the pandemic, was the peak of my hair. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, obviously I love the purple hair. I love it so freaking much. Sorry, car is like almost next to me. Anyways, obviously I love the purple hair so freaking much, but I can't lie, like my curls are not as curly as they once were. And so like I would say the peak of my hair was genuinely this time, the my sophomore year of high school, first learning how to layer my hair was so unbelievably healthy because I just never went out, obviously. So I just never manipulated my hair, never did a lot of heat to it. I think the entire course of the pandemic, I straightened my hair like once just to like see how long my hair was. And it was like the longest it's ever been, which I think my hair is like a comparable length to it now. But still, like it was just the longest my hair has ever been, the curliest, the healthiest, the most beautiful. Like this was the peak of my hair. I was like, oh my god, this is so good, you know. And I came back to school feeling so confident because my hair was just like ever flowing. You know, the last time everyone saw me, I had a curly bob practically. So like this was amazing. Okay, like you know, if you ever if you ever need to grow out your curly hair, just go through a fucking year and a half long pandemic and boom, you'll come out with gorgeous curls. That's my hair growth tip. I'm kidding. Like, obviously, my hair growth tip is time and patience, but pandemic doesn't hurt. Well, it does hurt. It does hurt. But, you know, like, doing nothing to your hair for a whole year and a half practically is really good for the hair growth. You know, you just, like, ignore it and suddenly it's, like, at boob or waist length. So, anyways, I come back to school with my gorgeous, gorgeous hair. And eventually my roots, or not roots, eventually like the brown that I dyed in my hair is so grown out that I literally just want to snip it off. And so I do. I guess I don't need to tell you guys about every haircut, but I cut off the brown. And then this is also around the time when I got my very first job. I might go into this in another episode, but I worked at Starbucks for 4 years. So let me know if you guys are interested in hearing stories from that time period in my life because there are a lot, trust me. So yeah, I worked at Starbucks and I finally had a job, I finally had money, I finally had a car, so I was like, you know what? it's time for me to get serious about doing this hair shit. Let me dye my hair blue. Okay? I was going for like a deep Coraline blue. Okay? Like I actually wanted to be here for Halloween, I think. But yeah, I wanted to dye my hair like a dark blue. So I drove myself to Sally's. I got my bleach. I got my toner because I heard toner, like, got bleach, toner, hair dye, the materials to do everything. And also, mind you, I had to beg my parents to let me dye my hair. But at the same time, they couldn't really stop me. You can't take away my car. I have my own money. I just let them know. So yeah, next thing you know, I'm at home. I'm bleaching my hair. I didn't realize how long it takes to do your own hair. It takes so fucking long. And so the first time that I bleached my hair, I remember I was spamming the ever living fuck out of my private story on Instagram. I was so fucking annoying, okay? I was literally like updating people on every single fucking step. I don't know, that's just what high schoolers do. But yeah, I bleached my hair and I didn't have enough time. I needed to get sleep, for the next day of school. I literally did this on a random like Thursday or random Wednesday. No, it was a Thursday because the next day was a rally. Anyways, so yeah, I bleached my hair, didn't have enough time to dye it. So the next day I go to school with like orange blonde hair, which it honestly looked bad. I was gonna say it didn't look that bad. It looked bad. And I literally just like had to go to school with this fucking orange ass hair. There's hella pictures of me from this day because it was a rally. And then during the night there was like some show performance. I honestly don't remember. But yeah, I had this orange ass blonde hair that wasn't cute. And immediately the next day, whatever, I slapped on that blue hair dye. I remember I used Arctic Fox because I always heard about Arctic Fox and it smelled like berries. So that's what I used. And I had the misfortune, or I don't know, this is when I discovered that you can't just slap blue dye on yellow blonde hair because blue plus yellow equals green. And green. Sorry, I'm trying not to touch the microphone. Anyways, so I remember I dye my hair, I see how it turns out, and it's like a turquoise, which is okay. I thought it was kind of cute for the time, like it wasn't what I was going for, but I didn't hate it. And I remember one of my friends, he would always say like that song. I don't remember what the name of the song is, but there's like a song lyric that's like, dyed my hair blue, it turned out to see six sort of green. I don't know if that's gonna get copyrighted. I don't think it was very good. But that song, like he would always say that to me because it was like literally what happened. I was going for a dark blue and my hair literally was like a turquoise color, which was honestly cool and cute for the moment. I had the blue hair for about a month, and after this I got bored of it because I'm an impulsive teenager with access to bleach and Sally Beauties. So I decide that I'm actually going to try the blonde this time. I'm actually tired of the blue, and so I bleach the blue out, which honestly I think is probably the best way to get it out. I could have used like color remover first to get like some more color out, like in hindsight, but I just bleached my hair and boom, I had like this brassy blonde. I put like a brownish toner on top of it. And yeah, I had a blonde era. At this point, if you guys are wondering about the state of my curls, because you should, they were not that bad. I would say, like, honestly, 2 rounds of bleach on curly hair is not too damaging, especially if it's virgin. My hair was virgin at the time, especially since I cut off the brown ends. So honestly, my curls were like maybe a little bit frizzier, but they honestly weren't too compromised. But then this girl got tired of the blonde, and I actually don't think I bleached it. I just dyed it, but I did like those peekaboo. I did a peekaboo hair. I dyed the top half of my hair like brown. Sorry, I feel like I'm smacking the microphone so much today. So next, after the blonde, I did one of those peekaboo hairstyles where you do the top half, I did the top half my natural hair color, so I tried to do like a dark brown for the top half, and then I used my leftover blue dye on the bottom half, and it was actually really cute, low-key, like love a peekaboo hairstyle, would love to do it again, but like I also like being a full head purple girl, so I don't know, but yeah, I liked the peekaboo. It was honestly really fun. And then after that, I don't remember how long I had it, but I had it for like a good amount of time because I did really like it. It was like half natural, half secret pop of color, you know? So, anyways, after this, I am like, okay, I want to go back to having like a solid hair color on my head, but I don't know how to do that myself. I don't think I can get one solid color with these two different colors in my hair. So, I decide, let me find a hair specialist who knows how to work with curly hair and also knows how to do color. And I find one online. She's like, I think she has like a home studio, which was pretty cool. But yeah, I think she had like her work online of her working with curly hair. I don't remember though. Maybe I just was like getting bullshitted. But yeah, I go to this lady's home and I was going for purple. I was going for purple. And so I get to the place, we're bleaching my hair. I think she did a test strand or two, and we are going for purple. You know what I left with? Fried maroon hair. It was basically red at this point. Like it wasn't even purple. And also my hair was so fucking fried. It was genuinely like the worst. Like my hair obviously was getting like a little bit more compromised every time I did it, but genuinely this was the breaking point. My hair wouldn't fucking curl and I could tell something was wrong when I was in her chair and she was styling my hair and it just was barely curling and I was like, I just thought in my mind, like, I told her my hair history. I just thought in my mind, there's no way a professional can fry your hair. That's exactly what happened. I never went back to that place. Obviously, I never went back. You fucking fried my hair. Obviously, I mean, yes, there's the argument that I made the damage first. I bleached it twice, but you bleached the time that fried it, and I didn't. So, yeah, I had my hair fucked up. I fucked up my hair. It wasn't even the color I wanted. And I remember like a week or two later, after getting my hair professionally done, I had to go to Sally Beauty's myself and slap on purple hair dye. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I did get it to be purple. But now that my hair was purple, it was also the most fried state that it's ever been in my entire life. It was barely fucking curling. I genuinely hated everything because my hair was dead. And so over the course of that summer, I was basically just like slowly chopping my hair, trying to nurse her back to life. And basically my entire senior year of high school consisted of me avidly trying to avoid manipulating my hair to like letting it grow. I think towards the end of my senior year of high school, I basically had a bob because I was just trying to cut off the most dead parts of my hair. Unfortunately, I did have a problem and I dyed my hair I think one or two times that year. First, I did like a purple. I totally forgot to mention. So, the start of senior year, I dyed my hair brown. So, I went back to brown. I just slapped it on top of the purple because I was like, okay, we're in our healthy, natural hair era, right? Right? But throughout the course of the year, I would get bored because if you couldn't tell, I get bored of hair quite easily. And so, first, I did like a purple money strip. Is that what they're called? Money piece? Whatever. And then I also did later on like a purple peekaboo. But yeah, I just kept wanting to do purple. So I kept like adding it in. I think there was times where I had to go back to a natural hair color or like just like I could only do the peekaboo piece. So I would just like throw purple randomly in throughout my hair. But for the most part, it was majority brown. And then by the end of the year, my hair was still pretty short, but not a bob anymore. I think I used one of those L'Oreal high color purples on it, which is still damaging. If you don't know, anything with developer is chemically altering your hair. But it wasn't that bad. It was just like brown with a purple tinge. So by the end of the senior year though, I had a fucking bob basically again. And at this point I'm like, fuck. Okay, I obviously do not have, oh my god, people are parking right next to me. Okay, we're gonna take a pause. Okay, where was I had to pause the pod because I think this park has like a summer camp daycare type of thing because there is so many parents coming like in and out of this parking lot right now picking up kids. Just fine, but there was two cars right next to me and my windows are open and I was like, I'm not doing this. Anyways, I think we left off at the end of high school. So I end off high school, my senior year, with a hair that's like on the healing journey. It's pretty short. I think I had like almost a bob, a little bit more like a lob. We were, working on the health of our hair, and so I committed to starting a healthy hair journey and a growing hair journey, because I'm not gonna lie, I had short hair for so much of my life because of hair damage, but it wasn't by choice. It was because of hair damage. And so I actually value having long hair. Like, this length of my hair is beautiful and I love it. And so I started my hair growing journey towards the end of high school and throughout community college. So I basically committed myself to cutting my hair as minimally as possible because, like I mentioned, I am a somewhat impulsive person. If you couldn't tell from my hair past, my hair history. I also forgot to mention that there was a brief time my senior year of high school that I gave myself bangs. I don't know why I gave myself bangs. Bangs are such a bad idea. There's actually been another period of my life that I had bangs. Actually, no. There was 2 periods of my life that I had bangs, and they were both somewhat recently. I don't know why, but I've tried so many different variations of bangs, and they just don't work for me. Anyways, so yeah, I tried having bangs my senior year of high school, but like straight hair bangs, and oh my fucking goodness, having to straighten your hair every single day, that fried the shit out of it. But it's okay. I was committing myself now to having a hair growth journey. There's a car parking, but not right next to me, so thank God. I was committing myself to a hair growth journey. So throughout community college, I dyed my hair back to brown. I kept it like that for a good 6 to 8 months, and then I got bored, dyed my hair red. But I'm not doing my hair impulsively changing it every month. I committed to having the red hair for another 6 to 8 months, which was honestly pretty fun and iconic. I did enjoy the red, but again, I got bored, so I went back to brown. Then I got bored of the brown. I don't remember how long I had brown after the red. It wasn't too long, but then I was like, you know what? I have always loved purple hair. I always came back to purple hair. Even when my hair was at its most dead, its most compromised, I've always loved purple hair. And so the summer, so basically a year ago today, well, not today, but like basically a year ago, I kind of realized I have always loved purple hair. Purple is my favorite color. Purple just feels like a part of my soul, and I've just always loved having purple hair. I just always desire to have purple hair. Yeah, I have always loved purple hair. Like, I have always craved, desired having purple hair. And so I just kind of felt like this was the time. My hair was getting longer. I've been taking care of it, only bleaching it like once or twice a year, very far and few between, taking care of my hair, doing these protein masks in between. I was taking care of my hair, and I was like, now is the time to dye my hair purple. And so boom, I finally did. And fast forward a year today, and I still have my purple hair. I have no plans to change my hair. I genuinely never get tired of having purple hair. Like, all other hair colors I will get tired of. Purple, I never get tired of. My most recent change that I have done to my hair, oh my God, wait, I forgot to talk about the bangs. Start of last year. So not this most recent New Year's, but the start of last New Year's. I don't know why, but I kept seeing videos of people doing curly bangs. So instead of doing straight bangs, I tried doing curly bangs. Oh my God, I fucking hated them. I don't know. I don't like bangs on myself. And then right before I moved to Davis, I actually saw people doing curly micro bangs, which actually, I really like curly micro bangs. I honestly, genuinely, really, really vouch for curly micro bangs. I fully support doing curly micro bangs. Do it. Go for it. They're so fucking cute. But oh my God, they're so high maintenance. What I would do is I would get 4 like pieces of hair, and I would curl them. Like, I would make a little curl, and then I'd pin them, curl them, pin, curl, pin. Like, I'd finger curl them, and then I'd have them dry like that. And so I would have to restyle them every single morning. They were so high maintenance, but they were so cute, and they would grow so fast. So I'd have to trim them all the time. I really do love that I had that era for myself, but right now I am like trying to grow out. Right now I'm in the era of trying to grow out my bangs and trying to teach myself the lesson of never doing bangs again, because I have done 3 different iterations of bangs now and I haven't liked any of them. So now I know, don't give yourself bangs, girl. Don't give yourself bangs. They're not for you. But my most recent hair change is that I've added a little bit of black to the ends of my hair. My hair was also this way for the last episode, but yeah, I've added a little bit of black to the ends, like throughout the layers. So like I sectioned my hair and then just like added black to each like successive layer, like the last like inch and a half. And I kind of like it. It's kind of also subtle, but I feel like with my when my hair fades a little bit more, it might be more obvious. But I like it. I don't mind it. It was kind of scary because I low key used black box dye on my ends, but I just feel like if I don't like it, I can cut it off. I don't want to cut it off though because I'm trying to like maintain a length here, but that's my most recent change. It's kind of very subtle, but I'm really happy with my where my hair is. I feel like I'm taking really good care of it. I don't really bleach it unless I'm doing the roots, and so that's my curly hair journey. I feel like that was like so excessively long, but that is how I got to where my hair is today. If you guys were looking for a curly hair tutorial, that is not this video. I'm actually planning on doing one on my TikTok, like how I style my curly hair thing on there. So follow me on TikTok if you want to see that. I have to do some self-promotion, obviously. I'm planning on doing a video on that. And honestly, I'm planning on doing more curly hair content on there. So and also fashion and other things. I have a lot of aspirations of what I want to do on TikTok. Honestly, this is filmed in advance, so I might have already done a curly hair tutorial on my TikTok. So go check me out there because I always get questions about my hair, so I will be answering them on there. But this is my hair journey for those of you guys who are curious. And now I wanted to kind of talk about the cultural significance of hair, which I'm not gonna lie, I didn't do any research, but I will say that I think that beyond just culture, there's like a spiritual significance to hair. And this is just like my personal belief, my personal opinion, which is probably like absorbed from some other cultures as well. But I just think that hair, I mean, this is like a thing that so many people say, but like hair holds memories. And so I have been genuinely growing out this hair for like almost the entirety of like my relationship with my boyfriend. We've been together for like 3.5 years now, and that's basically like how long I've been growing my hair out from a bob. He dated me at my most chopped hair era, and that's how you know he's a real one. But yeah, so I've been growing out my hair for all this time. My boyfriend also has long hair. He's also been growing his hair out for like the entirety of our relationship. I think that is a beautiful thing. But beyond that, even just dyeing my hair, like making any kind of change to my hair feels like a new chapter, a new start. I feel like I always every time I dye my hair, even if I'm just doing a refresh, it truly feels like a almost spiritual experience. It just feels like I am starting a new chapter. Any opportunity to like say that I'm starting a new chapter in my life, like genuinely I'm always looking for that. I love like feeling like I have a fresh start or a new chapter or starting a new page of the book, you know. Every time I redo my hair, like it genuinely feels like that. Kind of going back into the topic that I talked about for last week's episode, I literally changed my hair the day before I ended my friendship with the people I was talking about towards the end of my last episode. And it was genuinely crazy because I was doing my hair and I was thinking about the fact that, like, wow, these friends are never gonna see this new hair era, even though, like, it's not that different. It's just purple still with a little bit of black. Like, I was just thinking, like, wow, some people are just like never gonna see this hair era. You know, I'm in a new phase of life. I'm accepting a new version of myself almost every single time I change my hair. I also love doing braids. I know like braiding hair is very significant, especially for like African and Black history. Like I know that braids are like very culturally significant to them, but I also love doing braids. I've seen people talk about this online. Like I've seen this discourse and I honestly have kind of really like felt aligned with this as well. The idea of like braiding intentions into your hair. I always feel like when I do cutesy little braid hairstyles, not braiding my hair French braids, because French braids to me are like hair jail. It's like me avoiding wash day for the most part or avoiding styling my hair. But when I do like other more intentional cute hairstyles of braids, like before like a function, a hangout, whatever, it always just feels like I always have a good time. I don't know if it makes sense, but anytime I braid my hair for something like, or I add like little braids or like do a braided hairstyle, I always just feel like I have a good time. Like I do feel like I'm braiding the positive energy like into my hair, and like my hair is like a protective field around me, like keeping the good vibes in and the bad vibes out. I don't know. I don't think I've talked about anything slightly cultural. I've just been talking about my own brain nonsense and feelings about hair. But I just love hair so much. I love dyeing hair. I love the fact that I went on this journey just to learn that I like doing my own hair, and I don't trust any. I think there's other people that I could in the future trust with my hair. I'm not gonna lie, like I do love doing my hair, but it is stressful every single time I do it. And I would love to feel comfortable having someone else do my hair, because I'm not gonna lie, if you look really up close, she's a little bit spotty, a little bit patchy. She's an at-home job for sure. But yeah, I would love to in the future find someone who I feel comfortable enough with to do my hair, because I honestly value my hair so much that I don't think it's something that I could just willy-nilly like let anyone do anymore. I've learned how to cut my own hair, I've learned how to dye my own hair, I've learned how to style my own hair, and I feel very independent in my hair care. You know, I've researched online. I think a lot of my hair journey thus far, especially with like curly hair styling and products, has been learned online through YouTube, through TikTok, whatever, through these online spaces. And I think that's also kind of why I want to post more content, like giving people tutorials of how I do my hair and sharing that information. I don't support gatekeeping, first of all, but second of all, I just think that it's something that so many girls have to learn online. You know, people's parents don't know sometimes, or don't know the right places to take them, like myself. Like, I had to figure this shit out on my own. I'm not the only person in my family that has curly hair, but I'm the only girl in my family that has curly hair, or the only girl in my family who wears her hair curly. So I had to figure this stuff out by myself, and the internet was my best friend for that situation. And so like I honestly really genuinely want to help people with their curly hair journeys. That is mine. If you guys have any stories, curly hair dye, or just like whatever, you name it, like let me know in the comments down below, because I would love to hear little hair stories. I just love hair. I love connecting with people on their hair as well. I just think hair, the way people choose to have their hair, is just like such a personal statement about like who you are and like how you want the world to perceive you, you know? Even like having a more boring or basic haircut, like it just says so much about you as a person. I think it's so interesting, and I love that there's so many different types of hairstyles and haircuts that are popular, not even just for people with curly hair, but like people with wavy hair and straight hair. Like I just love seeing the personal expression of hair. Like everyone, like just get more hairy, or like have less hair, like do whatever the fuck you want. Okay, I think it's really cool also. If I didn't love my hair so fucking much, and if I didn't have a weirdly shaped head, I would totally do a buzz cut, like the bleached buzz cut with the cool hairstyles. Hairstyles with the cool patterns. I would probably need help with that, but like in another life, like that would be me. I would be the buzz cut baddie who is always doing different hairstyles. Unfortunately, I'm just too fucking attached to my hair. Like genuinely, you guys do not understand how much I fucking love my hair. Sometimes, someone's parking next to me again. Sometimes I kind of hate my hair, and we're kind of like beefing, but it's like we're just like a normal healthy relationship that is rocky sometimes. I'm really genuinely testing my like social anxiety skills right now, because there's people who keep parking next to me, and I just want to finish this episode because this car's getting hot. Yeah, but if I didn't love my hair so much, I would do that, I'm not gonna lie. But also about the weirdly shaped head thing, fun fact, I was a vacuum baby. I don't know if that's a technical I don't know if that's the technical term, but that's what my mother says to me. I had to be vacuumed out, and so I have like a bump. Like this side of my head is like this, like round, and then this side of my head is like this. Like, can you guys see? Like it has like it's like a corner almost, and then this one is more like rounded. Can you guys tell? Like this is round, and then this is a corner. Like you can feel it. You can feel it. So like, you know, like yeah, I'm a vacuum baby, whatever the fuck that means. I didn't want to enter this world, but they forced me to enter this world on May 5th, 2005, 555. They forced me to come out that day, and I'm forever grateful that I was born on that day by force. But yeah, fun fact, I have a bump on my head, and that is why I would never, ever choose to be bald. Because look, I don't know if anyone would notice if I had a weirdly shaped head, but the fact that I know that I have a weirdly shaped head, And also, I just love my hair too much. So, conclusion of this pod, I love my hair. We have been through a lot together. Well, I guess not this hair. I guess like hair is constantly growing and changing. Like you have different hair. I mean, it's like the same hair follicles, but like this is different hair because you cut your hair. So like this is different hair. But like my point still stands. Like me and my hair, this head of hair of myself, of mine, have been through a lot together, and I love her so much. And I'm excited to like share more about my hair. Not even my hair, but like sharing tips on like how I maintain like somewhat healthy hair. I feel like I've been saying I have a good curly hair day. I'm like overthinking it now. Like, is this a good curly hair day? She's getting a little frizzy, but like frizz is not bad. Frizz is not the enemy. Anyways, yeah, I have been yapping for so long. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope you guys enjoyed me yapping about my hair, but I would love if you guys commented down below like your hair stories, horror stories or victories, whatever, like share with me, please. I love the joy of sharing things about hair. Hair is such a body connecting thing. So like let's just share that. So yeah. I'll see you guys next week, and yeah. Bye.